Nigeria's three tiers of government, the federal, state, and local government councils, have shared a total of 1.7 trillion naira in federation account revenue for the month of January. Meanwhile, traders at Access Bank believe that the FAAC allocation will boost liquidity levels in the Treasury bills market as yields continue to decline. Anthony Aigbokhan, a Treasury Team member at Access Bank, joins me now for this conversation. Thank you so much for your time today, Anthony. And let's get a whiff of the market this week. And I'd like you to start with at least looking at what we're seeing play out with liquidity and the FAAC allocations coming in. The 1.7 trillion shared across the tiers of government. Well, what does it mean for liquidity in the near term?
Thank you very much for having me. So this week we started the market in a repo of 555 billion naira. This was a decline of over 600 billion. This was largely attributed to the bond auction settlement. We saw consequently OPR and overnight rates inch up to 32.3% and 32.7%. We expect the FAAC inflows to come in maybe today or next week. This is also expected to boost the system liquidity, also to bring down the OPR and overnight rates as well.
All right, quite a lot when you look at what's playing out in the market here, but I'd like you to speak to what it means for the yield trajectory for T-bills and bonds.
Okay, let me start with the Treasury bill market. So in the Treasury bill market, what we've seen rates decline. We've seen a lot of buying sentiments across the curve, particularly on the long end. We've seen the OMO bills and the NTB on the long end trend lower. So with the FAAC inflows coming in, we also expect the rates to go down more. We expect rates to come down, particularly on the OMO. We also expect the federal CBN to do an OMO auction that would expect to drain the system liquidity, and there we expect to see rates to inch down further. In the bonds market, what we saw was there was a bond auction this week where the DMO sold up to 910 billion. So after the bond auction, what we've noticed, we've seen a rally in the bond curve. But as of yesterday, we saw a bit of selling sentiment as market participants were trying to take profits. So we saw a bit increase in the rates by 10 basis points, particularly on the belly of the curve, but that's just on a profit markets, profit-taking sentiment. We still expect the rates to inch down further going into the next month, both on the Treasury bills and on the Nigerian government bonds.
All right, but when you look at the auction, I would like you to speak to some of the trends that you're noticing for the bond auctions here, and also what are your expectations for the primary market auction next week?
Yeah, so for the primary auction, the federal government, they are going to offer 650 billion. Our expectation is for the rates to continue to go down lower. We expect the buying sentiments in the market to continue. We're not looking at what has happened also in terms of the inflation figures and in terms of what we have currently seen. So we expect the rates to still come down further at next week's NTB auction.
All right, thank you so much for your time there. Interesting times in the market. Anthony Aigbokhan, a Treasury Team member at Access Bank, running us through activities at the fixed income and FX markets here in Nigeria.